field of bodies lay at the feet of the decimated castle. At the centre stands a tower of cold metal in the shape of a human. The woman gazes around, searching for survivors. Every death counts when you desire the end of all. When dealing with Nazareth. Another soldier tests his strength against the Iron Maiden, but as a withered hand reaches from the shell, a flash of purple reunites him with his brethren. Vynnset's dead eyes do not even watch the man fall. Hello, and welcome to the Iron Maiden. My name is Abby, and let me tell you about Vynnset, the Shadow Runeblade, who will trade every life point she has in order to win. My favourite part of Vynnset, mechanically, is the puzzle of the turn cycle. This is a deck that has extreme ceilings, but tragic flaws. When you put together the pieces, it feels like you are truly doing dark magic. Vynnset is the only deck in CC that regularly does 1-card 8s, with damage triggers too. For example, having any 2-cost Runegate card in hand, and 1 measly rune chant from the start of the turn. However, there is a cost to selling your soul to the Runeblade Devil: inconsistency. Vynnset usually attacks above rate, but if you draw 4 non-attacks or can't make enough rune chants, you're likely skipping your turn. On top of that, if you can't utilize the banish card you're playing, then you're basically playing a 3 intellect hero, the second coming of Datadol. Here it is. At the time of recording, this video is about 60 Australian dollars or 40 US. Vynnset is an excellent choice for this budget because her core game plan isn't reliant on expensive cards, but is reliant on mostly commons and rares. This list is perfect for armories or makes an excellent base to upgrade for tournaments. Vynnset herself is the way we get Runegate cards into Banish. Her first ability is the engine of the deck. Her second ability comes up sometimes too, usually in slow games in order to guarantee damage. Flail of Agony is your main weapon because of its most important feature. It makes you lose life. More on that later, but it is very important. The book in your other arm isn't used beyond Arcane Barrier, but it looks so much cooler than Arcane Lantern. On your head, you wear Hope's Merchant Hood for fixing dud hands. Your chest and legs are basically just 1-blocks, but Iron Weave can also help you play the 2-attack hand, so don't forget about it completely. Most vitally, Vexing Quill Hand is within budget. This card will save your ass once a game and should be saved until you need it. Carrying this into the late game feels amazing and it will win you games. Okay, time for the cards in the deck. Firstly, Runegate cards. There are 2 types in this deck: 2 costs and 3 costs. The 2 costs are extremely easy to play turn to turn, which is why I play all the red ones possible. They have some minor differences, but realistically, they could all be 2 for 6 Runegates, and I'd still play them. The 3 costs are harder to play, usually requiring previous setup, but are powerful. Widespread Destruction is this deck's Command and Conquer, except it's usually free, and attacks for 9, with split damage. It's great! And even better is Deathly Wail. This is the most important card in the deck. Every time you play one of these, you are almost guaranteeing that you will Runegate next turn. If you string them together turn after turn, games are really, really smooth. The next category is the non-attacks, which help boost the power. Most of these make rune chants, which smooth out our turns. Envelop even allows the paying of life for the purposes of Deathly Wail. The other half of the non-attacks are more of Skies. Giving Go Again and on hits is super vital to the deck's Deathly Wail plan. Without these, we would basically be bad guardians. 1 attack a turn. The final non-attack is Runeblood Incantation, which is like Deathly Wail happens every turn, for 3 turns. Every time you land one of these, you have 3 smooth turns ahead. The final card in the main is Pummel. This allows Vynnset to threaten more powerful on hits, push over blocks, and steal tempo. And it's so much fun. Okay, so now you know the goal. Let's see how it changes depending on our opponent. The sideboard has 4 packages. efficiency, buffs, and 2 niche options. D-reacts come in against aggro and reaction based decks to keep us efficient and fix our hands. Everything comes in against fatigue, like Guardians and Warrior. For illusionists, Nebula Blade trades in, as well as extra poppers and buffs. And finally, against Kano, the extra AB and Spell Void make the matchup much safer for us, not for them. The game plan into racing matchups is to rune gate every turn. If you keep this up, you can stay even with them on damage, and use previous setup to block occasionally to get ahead. When playing against fatigue, try not to waste resources if they won't push over 12. Big buff turns and double rune gate turns are the way to win, although it is pretty difficult. Versus illusionists, use the sword and the rune gate cards to kill allies and auras, while the arcane goes to the hero. Dromai is almost all reds, so she can't block all of it. And for Prism, use Vynnset's second ability to clear all of her ward and still get the damage through. Pitch some poppers because you don't have enough to get through the whole game. Finally, versus Kano, just play a little safe. Try to keep a card in hand at all times, even if it's not a blue, because they don't know that. Use your Spell Void head on Wildfire, of course, and keep pressure on, because if you give them too much space, then you will lose that matchup. If you are new to Vynnset, you may be wondering what lines are contained in this deck and the general game plan. First, let me show you the basic power lines you are looking for. The most important lines in this whole deck are based around Deathly Whale. First, Shadow Non-Attack, Pay Life, Whale. Most commonly, this is pitch a card to envelop, so that'll be between 3 card 10 and 3 card 14 depending on colour, which is more than 3 per card even at worst. Second, Morve, Whale, Flail. Even better if you can whale from previous setup, then you have a threat of up to 16 points of value with a guaranteed 11 points of value. 3. Morve, Whale, 2-cost Rune Gate. If your Morve hits and you have set up a Rune Gate card earlier in Banish, this can threaten 17 damage. However, most opponents will block seeing this coming, so using a Shadow Non-Attack to guarantee damage, or a Pummel, is the extension of this combo. And there you have it. For playing at an Armory level or on Talishar, this list is perfectly powerful. It may not work out straight away, but keep practicing and soon you'll be pledging your allegiance to Nazareth too. If you have any questions, please place them in the comments below and feel free to pledge your allegiance to me by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I've been the Iron Maiden, you've been amazing, and I hope to see you all in the flesh and blood.